Hey guys, it's Jeremy here on Metal Music Meltdown, back with another video. What we have for today, guys, is another album review. I'm going to be checking out a pretty big album release for this year. It's the new one from Ghost. It's entitled Skeleta. This is probably a very highly anticipated album for many people. I'm a pretty big fan of Ghost. I don't hate any of their albums. I really love their debut. But as far as kind of further along as they go, they kind of tend to get more poppy and poppy, and I started to lose a little bit more interest in the band. But they still write good records. I think the songs are super catchy, and I don't think there's a guy in rock or metal today that writes a better pop hook than Tobias Forge. Like, this guy really knows how to write songs, and especially melodies and like pop hooks. That's why it's so infectious, and their songs are so popular. I can definitely understand the hype behind the band. Me personally, I like their first album. That's more sinister and kind of satanic, evil sounding. But the new stuff does have good tunes. Like, they're more pop driven and more kind of 80s vibe. But they're still really good, well written songs and really catchy and big melodic choruses and good vocals, etc. But I do prefer heavier music as a whole. But I'm always down to listen to new Ghost albums and kind of check them out and see what direction they take. So, like I said, this is their new album called Skeleta, just released on yesterday, April the 25th of 2025. It's their sixth studio album, following up Impera in 2022. The last album I thought was okay. There's a couple of really good songs I really enjoyed, and there's other songs I didn't really like on the album. But overall, it was a decent album. So jumping into this album, it's got 10 tracks, 46 minutes in length. Starting with the artwork, pretty cool looking artwork. Kind of monochromatic, kind of one noted in terms of the color, but pretty cool artwork. It kind of suits the band and the music really well. And Ghost has always had one of the best logos in metal and rock, in my opinion. I just love their logo, the lettering, the way it looks and everything. It's really cool. And so let's jump right in, guys. The first song, Peacefield, just under 6 minutes, about five and a half. Pretty good tune. At first listen to the album, I didn't think it was a good opener because it's not quite heavy and it doesn't really grab you as much as I would like an opener to do. But it's a really well written kind of poppy rock song. It really reminds me of like a montage in like an '80s movie like Rocky or something, when they're like doing the kind of the workout training montage. This kind of reminds me of a song that we've been playing during a scene like that. But really 80s vibes, really well written pop rock song. Definitely a standout song for me on the album. It's not very heavy by any means, but a really well written poppy kind of rock song. And then the second song, Lecherma, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. This one was a little bit heavier. It opens up with this kind of crunchy kind of riff at the beginning. And then the chorus is still pretty pop driven and very pop inspired and melodies and stuff, but this one definitely had like a much heavier kind of feel to it, a little bit more ominous kind of vibe to it as well. I think in that case it was kind of a good way to open the album with Peacefield, because it's a little bit on the softer side and more catchy and poppy. And then with the contrast jumping into the second song, it really hits the heaviness of the guitar riff, really hits a little bit harder. Definitely a standard track for me. Probably the heaviest song on the album, which is not saying much because it's not super heavy, but comparing it to the other songs, it's got the heaviest riff by far. And then the other song, number three, Satanized, another single off the album. I enjoyed this song as well. That hook in the chorus, I can't remember what the lyric is, but when it goes da 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 and then save me, super earworm, gets stuck in your head. I kind of heard that playing in my head like for like the rest of the day after the first time I heard it. I like this song quite a bit. I like the core, the melody lines in it. I like the riffs and the good clean guitar solo in it as well. Good vocals on this song as well. Really good stuff. Another standout track for me. And then number four, Guiding Lights, 3.5 minutes, shorter song. Took a little bit of a turn. It's a ballad. But for when I first started, I'm like, oh god, here we go. It's gonna be some like really boring, slow ballad I'm gonna hate. But getting about a minute into the song, I'm like, wow, this was really well executed. It is ballad. It's soft. It's not heavy. It's very soft song and ballady. but his vocal delivery, he really delivers the execution. It's so emotive and emotional, and his vocals are insane on the song. I found that his vocals on this album were a standout. He took it to the next level. Very, very strong vocals on this album, and this song really shined, put a shine on his vocals, a spotlight, if you will, because he sounded amazing on this song. And so much emotion and heart behind the song, and just a really beautiful song. I loved it. Definitely a standout track for me. And then, honestly, in the second half of the album, starting number, not 5 as much, but into number 6, the album started to lose me a little bit. Number 5, Drafondis Borealis. Pretty good tune, another kind of 80s catchy chorus kind of song. It's got some guitar riffs and a little clean solo in it as well, but not quite as strong as the songs before it, but still a decent song. I still enjoyed it. And then starting with Cenotaph and Missilia Amori. These two songs I didn't really quite, and actually in Marks of the Evil One as well. These 3 songs I didn't hate them, but they were just kind of there, like they were good, but not quite as good as the songs that came before it, in my opinion. They felt a little bit more flat. They didn't quite grab me the same way. Still had a catchy chorus, still had the good vocals, but something about the songs just didn't grab me in the same way. Maybe the choruses weren't as grandiose and catchy. Still decent songs. The Missilia Amori, I think, was one of my least favorite songs on the album. That one didn't catch me the same way, and I found the chorus a little corny in a way, or it didn't quite catch me the same way. I didn't like the chorus on that one as much. And the number 9, Umbra, had a much darker, kind of sinister, somber kind of feel to it. Pretty cool song. Still poppy in a lot of ways, but had a little bit more of a darker vibe to it. I really kind of enjoyed that song. And the later part of the album was more of a standout. And the last song on the album, Excelsis. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, sorry guys. 6-minute song. This is another ballad, but this one, honestly, I found a little boring. The vocals are good. The best part of the song was the lyrics. I think that's a well-written song lyrically. It's got a good meaning behind it. Kind of going through that life existential crisis, thinking about death and how we all have to die sometime and what you should do when you're still alive kind of thing. So the lyrics really were good on this song. I really enjoyed the lyrics. But the song as a whole, I know it's slow, it's supposed to be because it's a ballad, but comparing it to the other ballad on the album, this one I found a little bit boring, to be honest. I didn't like it that much at all. So overall standout tracks for me, it's definitely more of a front-loaded album. The first 4 songs are by far my favorite songs on the album. So Peacefield, Lecherma, and Satanized and Guiding Lights were my 4 favorite songs on the album. The 2 songs I liked the least were probably Missilia Amori and the last song, the ballad at the end. Those are the 2 songs I didn't like the most. I wouldn't say there's any really bad songs on the album, but the last song, the ballad, was like definitely the weaker song on the album. I found, like I said, it was kind of a bit boring and not that great, but not horrible. Overall, really decent album. I'd say it's on par with Impera, pretty comparable. Same kind of feel to it for me. There's a handful of songs I really like, and there's a couple songs I don't like as much, really at all, or not at all, but I don't like as much. And then there's a couple songs that are kind of just in the middle. So overall, it's pretty on par with the previous album. Would I pick it up on CD? Yeah, maybe if it's a decent price. It's not an album I'm going to be running out to buy personally, but there's a handful of tracks I really like, and probably enough to pick up the album for like cheap. But yeah, the sleeper on this album, I would say, is Guiding Lights. That's a really, really well executed ballad, and so much emotion behind it, and his vocals are crazy good on that song. So positives of the song, still really well written songs. This guy really knows how to write a pop hook and melodies. It's got a couple heavy moments, but not quite as many as I would like. I wish he would just write a couple balls out heavy songs on his albums, but I think that's not really what they're about at this point. They're just more got that 80s kind of vibe, melodic, super heavy on the melodic pop hooks. That's kind of where the band's at this time. But the production's really good. It's crisp. It's polished. It's heavy. The vocals are really good on this album. Probably one of the best Tobias has sounded ever, to be honest. Guitar work's pretty solid. Really good lead work on this album throughout the whole thing. The leads were really standout. Good clean guitar solos, really tasty and well done. Songwriting's a really strong one. Lyrics are pretty strong. Just a couple songs were a little bit of a miss for me, but a couple songs are really, really good. When I got into the first 4 songs, my initial reaction was, holy crap, this is going to be a killer album. And then, like I said, the album kind of lost me, started losing me around track 6. And after that, it didn't have quite this impact on me as the earlier part of the album. But overall, decent album. As a rating, I'd probably give it a 7.25 out of 10. Decent album. Not bad. It's good, but not great. And so let me know down below, guys, what you thought of the album. I know there's a bunch of monster Ghost fans out there. Let me know what your standout tracks were from the album. And like I said, got some more albums coming up, guys. We're going to be reviewing the new Elevati album coming up, the new Game Over Thrasher Band album, and the new Pagan Altar. If I have time this weekend, I'm going to try to do that one as well. So thanks for watching, guys, and keep it metal.